and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. It is time to de-kit Kenny the Koala. I actually thought I had 3 round boxes of diamonds for some reason, but I only have 2. Anyway, it is time to de-kit, so this is normally fairly quick with rounds for me, whether it's because my rounds tend to be smaller, whether it be because I only have 2 boxes, who knows. But we are hitting something straight away. First up, I've put my sticker on the wrong side of the bag. So let me turn that round. I like the short side to be the side that the sticker is on, but I'm also hitting a colour that I don't have in my round spares. So let's keep that to the side. I was going to get my logbook out and mark it straight away, but my rounds, I have a lot less than my squares. I've done it on this one as well. I've obviously had a moment where the bags were in the wrong position when I've done these. Yeah, what was I saying? Can't remember. These are my original boxes and sort of stickers on the front. So these are actually a little bit thicker. These are our download stickers. They're a little bit different in size to our now sort of pre-shaped stickers. Yeah, I expect I may have a couple more new colours, especially hitting one straight off the bat, but we'll see. I do have, my logbook does tell me all the diamonds that I have in my spares. I don't keep track of how many of this, that or the other. All I'm bothered about is, do I have any? So if I ever have a kit where I run out of diamonds, which I have had a couple of times in the past, haven't had for years though, I've got that reference. Also, if I do a project a bit like my, see, look, there we go, number 2. A bit like my Heaven and Earth designs, where I do a project using spares, then I have a list of what diamonds I have if I choose not to buy them just for that project. So if you want to see how I used spares to create a painting that is 40 centimetres by 2.5 meters, and yes, you heard that right, it is only 40 centimeters across, but it is 2.5 meters long. Then, oh, number 3, I do have a Heaven and Earth design massive project playlist for you to be able to see how I did that one. And it's finished now, so you've not had to wait 4 years like everybody else who watched it from the beginning. You don't have to wait 4 years to see it finished, because it is now all done and dusted, which is great. But yeah, I am de-kitting Koala, and then the video I'm the most excited for is my kitting up of my next painting to do. I have got decision wheels ready, and I will explain the decision wheels that I've chosen in tomorrow's video. And it may look then like I didn't have many diamonds to put away, and while I didn't have a huge amount, I in no way felt like I was short. It was a very lightly used colour, that one, just so you know. You will see the sort of extra amount of diamonds I have when I get to 818. Just a warning, I'll be there in a minute. But yeah, I enjoy de-kitting a project but I also enjoy it because of the anticipation I have, because I know kitting up a new project will be next. I have taken the decision to have the decision wheel choose what type of painting I do, which has been discussed in videos, so that part's no secret. But I have added in a couple of other options into that wheel. And then, I say, depending on what that picks, depends on if we spin a second wheel. So, 818, I actually have all of these diamonds left, a full spare pot and the smaller pot. So let's tip that one in. Oh, I might be all right getting both in, actually. I was wondering if putting both in was going to fill my bag too much, and I would actually want to put some of them straight into my giveaway spares. But while it is fairly full for my rounds, that's not too full. It's not too bad because I had hardly any to start off with. So we'll keep that one in, 818, 819, which is probably the more popular used DMC number. Also got a good chunk of those. They were some of the background colours. 818 being the most used in the background, and there was an absolute gazillion of them left at the end of it. Okay, that's that box finished. Now we move on to my second box, which actually is split part way through the 800s. It's just my way of still being able to have a little bit of wiggle room, but not too much wiggle room, because I don't do as many rounds as I do squares. Oh, another colour. What are we on now? That's number 5 of new colours. Only a tiny amount in this, but believe me, if I have a painting that I do and I don't have, oh no, I don't want to take that one off. If I have a painting and I run out of a colour, it's not very often that I run out of a lot of the colour. Quite often it is just a few. It is the last part, the last corner, all that sort of stuff. So I will be very, very grateful for those few diamonds should I run out of a colour in the future. 841. Quite a lot of that one. That's obviously used a lot more. It's like a percentage of the colours I have as an extra. So the colour that was used the most, which was that background pink colour, I have the biggest percentage of left compared to the rest. I will show you Kenny as well in a moment. He looks very, very handsome. He was finished during a whip and waffle a couple of weeks ago, but I did decide to do things in order, which can be hard, but I did decide to do things in order and de-kit my Paint Gem Mini before de-kitting my Koala. So it's actually been 2 weeks since I've had a weekday whip, should we call it? I don't even know if we could call it a weekday whip. So I have a large square painting kitted up. It is 192 colours. It is Walking in the Rain by Diamond Art Studio UK. That is what's called my long-term project. I like to have a long-term project kitted up, which is more of a, should we say, challenge project? I'm not sure if we came up with a name for it, but it tends to be a painting that I have to do a little bit slower than a normal painting for whatever reason. In this case, it's because it has 192 colours. I don't find that the 192 colours is probably as complicated as I thought it would be. I think outside the sweet shop, which has 197 maybe, I think that one's going to be a little trickier. I think that one's a bit more confetti than this one is. This one does have some periods of blockiness. But yeah, that's my longer term challenge project. I then have Paint Gem Minis kitted up. At the moment I kitted up 3 all at once, and I'm going to de-kit 3 all at once. This is the other background colour, by the way. Yeah, so I have my Paint Gem Minis, I have my long-term project, and then I have whatever is my current whip, and that's the one I don't have kitted up at the moment. So rest assured, I can always still have something to diamond paint. I get a little bit more progress done on my high colour painting when I don't have my general whip kitted up, or I work on some of my Paint Gem Minis. My Paint Gem Minis tend to be the project that I get out if I've had, say, a busy evening and not sat down until, say, 8 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, I don't really, want to spend a couple of, or an hour and a half or 2 hours doing a section of my current whip. I just want to do something quick and small, and a Paint Gem Mini takes 45 minutes or so. So that means I can get in a little bit of diamond painting without having to sort of stop halfway through and make myself go to bed, should we say. So yeah, I do always have things kitted up, but I try to de-kit whatever my current whip was before I start a new whip, which is what this is. This is a de-kit ready to kit up my next one, which I'm very excited to do, I will say. And it never takes long to de-kit rounds. We are on, what, 12, 13 minutes to de-kit all the diamonds. So all the diamonds are away. I do like to do a couple of other things after de-kitting a project. So first thing, I'll pop my boxes away. And these sit on a Billy bookcase shelf in my craft room. But I want to update my logbook. So I actually have 4 of these logbooks, if you've seen my videos. This one holds my current whips, so that is Walking in the Rain. And then it's holding my 3 Paint Gem Minis that you will have seen me kit up last week. And then it has my spares. So I have spares in square and rounds, and as you can see, I do have loads of them ticked because I have loads of spares. So what do we have here? We have 165. I already had it in square. I now have it in round. 347. I had in square. I now have it in round. 561. I have in square and now in round. 733. I had in square. And 839 I also had in square. So I'm sort of filling in some of the gaps on the rounds. So I like to update my spares list. I also have spares for AB diamonds, which is not as full. And then I have what I class as other. So some of these are neon, some of them are glow in the dark. And then I have my conversion chart, which converts diamond dots Diamond Art Club ABs, Heaven and Earth Design, potential switches for some of the DMC numbers that aren't available in diamonds, and Dreamer Design ABs. And then I have a sheet for Heaven and Earth Design. They are all the colours for Little Dreamer's Tree Max Colour. I actually don't need this anymore. This has been completed, but I did do a mini stock check to see where my diamonds were up to. Do I have enough to finish the project? The line through meant I didn't use it at all. The tick meant I had enough, and then I put in the numbers that I'd need to sort of be able to finish the painting, but I've finished it now. I do need to do another sheet of those for my next Heaven and Earth Design project, but I need to finish Walking in the Rain first. So, a couple of things I like to do. I don't do this every time, but I have been doing it recently. I have been doing it each time recently, is taking the bottom tray out of my cases, because as you can see, I haven't done this one for a while because these are all squares. But catching all the diamonds that may have fell down, or that have fell on the top of here and then fell down when I've taken a bottle out. Sort of clean up the bottom of my case. So I've been doing that recently, but I don't do that all the time. What I do like to do every time I've finished, if it needs it, and this isn't that bad, but it does need it a little bit, is use my Goo Gone and my Goo Gone cloth, which is just used for getting any leftover sticky residue off the bottles. And there is not a huge amount on this, but it makes it so much nicer when I get out a case to kit up my next project, if it's all clean. And depending on what my next project will be, will depend on whether this case will get used again, or whether it could be 6 months down the line before this one get used again. Who knows? So having it nice and clean will help. And I've just noticed that there is a little bit of a trash diamond stuck inside that pot. It's flashing at me like a colour. So there we go. That's all nice. I could wipe down all the outsides and stuff as well. I might try and get myself some baby wipes or something to have in here, just to wipe down my cases and sort of make them as clean as possible before they go away. But anyway, that is that all done. So to show you Kenny, here is Kenny the koala. Fully finished. Absolutely loved the 3 different colour pinks in the background, giving it that extra little bit of something, which made it really enjoyable to actually do the whole background. But yeah, this is from Kaiser Craft or Australia. I picked this up, well, I got it delivered to my mum and dad's and picked it up when I was in Australia. But really happy with the quality of this one. I think it's been great. The diamonds were beautiful and there was plenty to do. So if you're able to pick up any from Kaiser, I think that's a plus. But yeah, next it's the exciting time of kitting up my new one. So thank you all so much for joining me for this dekitting, and I'll speak to you all again soon.